everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing my June TBR. So I cannot believe that June is already here. I feel like May just started. I'm already a month into my summer vacation, which is really bittersweet because I only have 3 months left, which is still a really long time, but still. But anyways, I had a really weird reading month in May. I'll talk about it more in my wrap up, but it was just really weird. So I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to follow my TBR this month. I'm just kind of gonna show you guys the books that I think I'm most likely to read this month. But yeah, whatever I'm feeling like is what I'm gonna pick up, just because I've kind of been a little bit slumpy lately, so I'm trying to kind of get myself back into my reading groove. So that's kind of why I have like this tentative TBR, but I don't know if I will be following it like exactly. I'll probably read most of them, but probably not all of them. So yeah, anyways, let's get into what I'm planning on reading next month. So the first two books are the books that I'm currently reading. I'm filming this pretty early. It's May 25th right now, so I do still have a few days left in May, and if all goes according to plan, then I will read... How many more books did I want to read? I think I wanted to read 2 more books, so then my TBR would be down to 65, which is what my goal was at the beginning of the month last month. So before the end of the month, I'm planning on finishing The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I just started this yesterday. I'm like, I think 30 pages in, so I'm not very far at all, but I am really enjoying it so far. I really hope that I love this, because I'll feel like such a black sheep if I don't, since everyone loves this series so much. The writing is really great, and the only thing I'm having trouble with right now is I'm kind of confused because things aren't really explained yet, so I'm sure that will change as I get more into it. I've heard it's slow in the beginning, so I'm kind of anticipating that, but yeah, I'm hoping to finish this before the end of the month. And then the other book that I'm hoping to finish before the end of the month is Arif Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I am on page 167 right now. I was going to try and finish this tomorrow, but I'm not really sure if that's going to end up happening. Maybe. I don't know if I just decide to spend the whole entire day reading tomorrow, but I do definitely want to get it done before the end of the month. I'm just not sure how soon I will get it done. And I am really loving it so far, obviously. I mean, it's Sarah J. Maas, it's Throne of Glass, it's just perfect. So those are the last 2 books that I'm hoping to finish in May, and if not, then I'll finish them in June, which I won't be super happy about, but whatever, I can deal with it. But my goal for my TBR for the end of June, I'm hoping to get it down. I think I'll try to get it down another 10. So if I get it down to 55 or even 50, I will be so excited about that. I think 50 would be a really good number, because that's kind of a little bit more than cut in half from the very beginning of the year. So I would be very happy with 50, but I'm gonna shoot for 55 just since my reading has been a little bit off lately. So I think I've given myself 10 or so books on my TBR, and like I said, I'll be choosing from these, but I might also stray away from it a little bit. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself, and also if I read more than 10, then fabulous, I will pick some other ones too, and it will just be a great time. So the first one I'm hoping to read, I think I will end up picking up after I'm done with The Raven Boys, and that is My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Warga. I got this book last month, and I have just heard so many fantastic things about it. It's about this girl who's in a suicide pact, which sounds like a very interesting premise for a book. So basically, she wants to commit suicide, and she has this other person, I believe they meet online, and they're both agreeing to commit suicide, so then they're kind of holding each other accountable. It just seems like it's going to be very, very sad, but very, like, touching. Like, I'm super interested in this story. I think it's gonna be kind of one of those depressingly amazing stories. Like, it's really, really sad, but it's completely beautiful. Like, I think it's gonna be kind of like a Fault in Our Stars / Book Thief kind of thing. And those are my 2 favorite books, so I definitely like books that are pretty depressing, but also just absolutely amazing. So I have pretty high expectations for this one, and I'm hoping it will live up to them. This next book I think I'm going to be picking up after Arif Fire, and that is Shades of Earth by Beth Revis. This is the final book in the Across the Universe trilogy. I read the last two last month, and just to finish off the trilogy, I will be reading this one. I'm hoping I will read it pretty quickly. I'm not like in love with this trilogy, but I do really enjoy it. So far I've given the first two books 4 stars, 4 out of 5 stars, so I have some expectations for this one, but I'm not really like getting my hopes up that I'm going to love it, just since I haven't really loved the past books in the series, but I do enjoy them. And I really want to finish the series, so I will definitely be reading this one next month. These next ones, nothing is really definite for. Those first two I think I will definitely be reading, but yeah, these next ones I'm not really sure if I will actually end up reading. They're just kind of the ones that were sticking out to me right now, and I just decided to put on my TBR. So the first one is The Impossible Knife of Memory by Laurie Halse Anderson. Laurie Halse Anderson is one of my favorite authors. She is super talented, and she writes about really serious topics and just does it in such a beautiful way. I really enjoy her books. I've read 2 of them and I really liked both of them. So this one deals with post-traumatic stress disorder. The main character's name is Haley, which is also my name, so that's another reason why I want to read it. But her father has just come back from Iraq and he has post-traumatic stress disorder, so it's just kind of her living with her father as he's struggling to kind of re-enter society after being in a war. And Laurie Halse Anderson wrote this based on observing someone in her family who was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. So I have pretty high expectations for this one. I think it will be really good. I'm hoping it will be. But yeah, this is another one that I think is going to be like depressingly beautiful, but I'm pretty excited for it. Then I plan on reading Just One Day by Gail Forman. I have only read If I Stay by Gail Forman, and I didn't really like it that much, not as much as everyone else does. I liked the movie better. I think I gave it like 3 stars or something. I just wasn't in love with it. I liked it, but meh, I think I had a lot of trouble connecting with the main character, so I'm hoping that I will like this book more. It's a contemporary romance that takes place in Paris in just one day, so it kind of has some Anna and the French Kiss vibes, so I think I might like it more. I think it might kind of appeal to me more. I don't know. I'm hoping I will. I have the second book in this duology too, so if I do really like this one, then I will probably pick up the second book in the duology right after, and then the novella after that, because I just want to finish the series if I really do like this one. But I really have high expectations because a lot of people have really loved this one. I'm hoping I will too. Next is Tease by Amanda Maciel. I had this on my TBR a couple of months ago and I just never got around to it. But I guess I'm kind of in the mood for like depressing contemporaries. This one is about a girl who bullied a girl into committing suicide. So it's told from the perspective of the bully, and she's going through this trial because like obviously there's gonna be like some criminal action taken because she bullied this girl into committing suicide, and I'm just really interested in seeing that side of it, because usually in novels you see the side of the victim. I'm really interested in seeing the side of the perpetrator and seeing kind of how she's dealing with like what she has done. So I have some pretty high expectations for this one as well. I have heard really great things about it, and I think it's just such an interesting premise. I'm pretty excited to read this one. Next is The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. I figure that if I read The Raven Boys this month and I really like it, then I might want to read more Maggie Stiefvater, and this is the only other novel of hers that I own, so I'm just kind of throwing this on there. If I do really like The Raven Boys and want to read it, then I'll probably pick this one up after The Raven Boys. This one, I'm not really too sure what it's about. I believe it deals with some mythology. I seem to remember one of my teachers in high school saying it did, and she really liked it, so I'm hoping I will like it too. It has horses and stuff, and I really like horses, so I don't know. We'll see. Next is Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I just want to move this thing to my red shelf because I've read one of the books in here, and it's just still sitting on my TBR shelf, so I just want to finish the second one so then I can move it to the other shelf because it's just really bugging me. I did like the first one. I wasn't like in love with it as a lot of people are, but I am kind of interested in seeing where the story's going. I'm definitely gonna have to go on recaptains to see what happened in the first one because I don't really remember at all. But yeah, I just want this off of my TBR shelf, which is basically why I'm reading it. Next is The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. This is the second book in the Fifth Wave trilogy, and a lot of people did not like this book. I don't think I've heard one person who loved it, so I just kind of want to get this one off of my TBR as well. I think if I'm not enjoying it though, I'm just gonna DNF it and unhaul it because it's literally the size of my face compared to my copy of the Fifth Wave, which, wait, one second. So this is my copy of the Fifth Wave and this is my copy of The Infinite Sea. Like, the size difference is so annoying, so I just want this off of my TBR, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna just unhaul it and DNF it because I liked this one a lot, but I've heard so many bad things about this one that I'm not really sure if I do want to put in the effort. So I think if I don't end up wanting to pick this one up, I'm just gonna unhaul it because I just haven't heard one good thing about it. Next is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I read The Archive by Victoria Schwab, who is V.E. Schwab, last month, and I liked it, not as much as I had wanted to, but I did really like her writing, and I've heard that a lot of people really love this book, so I think I'm going to try and give this one a chance next month because I think this one kind of more appeals to me than The Archived. The Archived, I had too many like presumptions about it, and it didn't end up like being anything like I thought it was going to be, and that's kind of why I didn't like it so much. So this one, all I know about it is that it's about like superhumans, and that's really all I know. So I think having just kind of that vague description will help out a little bit and I won't have too many expectations for it, but I'm hoping I will really like it because I like Victoria Schwab's writing style, and I do really think this one will appeal to me more. Next is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. I really liked Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I read it in February, and I've also heard really great things about Hopeless. I read Slammed by Colleen Hoover and didn't really like it, but I think this one will. I actually don't know anything about this one, so I don't know if it will appeal to me more, but I have heard really great things about this one. It seems to be this one and Slammed are kind of the two favorites, and Ugly Love. So I did really like Ugly Love, didn't like Slammed. Maybe I'll like this one, maybe not. I don't know. I really like Colleen Hoover's writing style, so I think I will like this one. My problem with Slammed was the romance, so as long as the romance isn't as toxic as Slammed, then I think I will like this one. Next is Eon by Alison Goodman. This book has just been calling out to me the past few months, and I just never put it on my TBR for whatever reason, but just something about it, it has been like begging me to read it. So this is one that I think I will probably end up reading this month, and probably earlier in the month. I love the cover of this book, I love the colors and everything, and I read Ink by Amanda Sun, and that's kind of another kind of Asian mythology novel, and I believe this one is as well. I think it's Japanese history, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not positive on that one though, but I know it deals with dragons, and a while ago I was craving a dragon novel, and like that thirst for a dragon novel was never really quenched because both of the ones that I read I didn't really like too much, so maybe this will satisfy that thirst. I've heard really fantastic things about it, and yeah, I'm excited to read it. Ooh, it's really hot in my house right now, so oh, that's glorious. And the last book on my TBR for this month is The Evolution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. This is the second book in the Mara Dyer trilogy, and I read the first one in October, and I read it like in one sitting. I just kind of sat down and read the whole entire thing, and that was a pretty big book. So I'm thinking this one might be a one-seater, maybe a two-seater, because it is like, how many pages? No spoilers. It's around 520 pages, so it's a pretty hunk of a book, but it's really just like, for these books, I just get so interested in them, and I just want to know what's going on and what's happening. And also we have Noah Shaw, which is like really adds to the reading experience. So I keep on like turning pages, and before I know it, I have finished the book. So I'm hoping that this will be the same as the first one in that aspect, that I won't be able to put it down. So yeah, hoping I can get to this one. So that is going to be all for my TBR this month. Let me know what you guys are planning on reading in June, and let me know if you guys have read any of these books and what your thoughts were on them. So yeah, that's going to be all, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!